the Democratic Party did officially name its presidential nominee last night. Joe Biden thanked delegates last night from a Delaware high school where his wife Jill used to teach, with a celebratory assist from his grandkids. Night 2 of the virtual Democratic National Convention included speeches from former Presidents Bill Clinton and Jimmy Carter, along with Republicans like Colin Powell and Cindy McCain, widow of Senator John McCain.
And it was notable that most of those speeches focused on building up Joe Biden rather than tearing down the president, as Democrats aimed to demonstrate unity, even though they're physically far apart. Our Ed O'Keefe reports now from Biden country, Wilmington, Delaware.
Delaware is proud to cast its 32 votes for our favorite son and our next president.
Our friend, Delaware, Joe Biden.
A roll call like no other last night as Democrats from Maine to the Northern Mariana Islands, Georgia to Guam, Washington, D.C. to Washington State officially nominated Joe Biden. The former vice president and his wife Jill celebrated with their grandchildren at a Wilmington, Delaware high school, where Jill once taught. It was there that she later spoke on behalf of her husband and acknowledged that many teachers like her are struggling with how to work during the pandemic.
You can hear the anxiety that echoes down empty hallways.
Biden said her husband would carry the nation forward in its time of need.
How do you make a broken family whole? The same way you make a nation whole. With love and understanding, and with small acts of kindness.
Mr. Biden has called himself a bridge to the future of the Democratic Party, and the night highlighted rising stars.
In every election, we choose how we will create a more perfect union.
And the party's former leaders.
Joe Biden must be our next president.
Former President Bill Clinton delivered his most stinging attack to date against President Trump.
At a time like this, the Oval Office should be a command center. Instead, it's a storm center. There's only chaos. Just one thing never changes: his determination to deny responsibility and shift the blame.
And yet again, Democrats gave airtime to Republicans, like former Secretary of State Colin Powell.
With Joe Biden in the White House, you will never doubt that he will stand with our friends and stand up to our adversaries, never the other way around.
And Cindy McCain, the wife of the late Senator John McCain, who narrated a video about how her husband and Biden worked together.
It was a style of legislating and leadership that you don't find much anymore.
There was also a focus on issues like health care, with one video featuring activist Adi Barkan, who suffers from ALS.
After I was diagnosed, the president passed a tax bill that put my health care at risk. So I went to Washington, D.C.
Barkan lost his voice from the disease.
Everyone living in America should get the health care they need, regardless of their employment status or ability to pay.
One little piece of procedural business they had to do last night caused a little confusion for folks. Runner-up Bernie Sanders was also placed into nomination. They asked New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to formally place him into nomination. She was a good team player and did so, but there was a little confusion about that. It's just a formality. As for tonight, former President Barack Obama is set to address the convention. He's expected to talk about his 8 years of partnership with Biden and also to push for Americans to vote this fall. And of course, here in this building behind us in Wilmington, Delaware, we'll also hear tonight from the vice presidential nominee, Kamala Harris. Gail?
Ed, thank you.